Hello, and welcome back to English Off the Page, the podcast that helps you understand the English you hear in the real world, from common idioms to the nuances of everyday conversation. I'm your host, Leona, and I'm so glad you could join us for another episode. We aim to make English more accessible and a little less intimidating, one topic at a time.
And I'm James. It's great to have you with us. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think a lot of people, not just English learners, can definitely relate to. It's one of those universal experiences that seems to get more complicated the older we get, a real head scratcher for many. It's a challenge that transcends culture and language, hitting at the core of our need for connection.
That's right. We're asking the big question. Why is it so incredibly awkward to make new friends as an adult? It feels like it should be simple, but it's often fraught with anxiety and uncertainty. We'll be exploring all the angles today, from psychological barriers to the practical steps we can take. It's a journey from isolation to connection.
It's a huge one. I mean, think about it. When you're a kid, you just walk up to another kid on the playground and say, "Want to play?" And boom, you're best friends. There's no fear, no overthinking. It's just pure, unfiltered social interaction. The shared goal is simply to have fun, and that's a powerful unifier.
Exactly. Or you just sit next to someone in class and you're automatically friends. But as an adult, it feels like you need a business plan and three references just to ask someone to get a coffee. The spontaneity is gone, replaced by a kind of social calculus where we're constantly weighing the risks and rewards. It's exhausting, really.
Right. It's so much more complicated. So let's break it down. What do you think is the biggest difference between making friends as a kid and as an adult? If we can pinpoint the core issue, maybe we can start to figure out a solution. I think a lot of our listeners are probably nodding their heads right now, feeling that exact same frustration.
For me, it comes down to shared environment and repetition. As kids, we're in school. We see the same people every single day for hours at a time. Friendship happens almost by accident. It's a natural byproduct of forced proximity. You don't even have to try that hard. The environment does most of the work for you.
That's such a good point. Proximity. You're physically close to people for long periods. As an adult, our lives are so structured and separate. We go to work, maybe we go to the gym, then we go home. Our daily paths rarely intersect with the same people in a relaxed, open ended way. We're in our own little bubbles.
Mm-hmm. And at work, sometimes the relationships are purely professional. It can be tricky to cross that line from coworker to actual friend. There's a different dynamic at play. You have to consider office politics, professionalism, and the fact that your relationship is primarily based on shared tasks, not shared personal lives.
Totally. There's sort of a fear of rejection that feels much bigger as an adult. Asking a coworker, "Hey, do you want to hang out sometime?" feels incredibly vulnerable. What if they say no? You still have to see them every day at the office. It can make things awkward, and most of us would rather avoid that potential discomfort.
Let's talk about that word vulnerable. It means being in a position where you can be emotionally hurt. And that feeling is at the core of this whole problem, isn't it? It's the act of saying, I like you, I want to spend more time with you, without any guarantee that the feeling is mutual. It takes real courage to put yourself out there like that.
Absolutely. As a kid, if someone says no, you just run off and play with someone else. As an adult, that no, or even just a hesitant yes, can feel like a personal judgment on who you are. We attach so much more meaning to it. We start thinking, am I not interesting enough? Am I too weird? Our adult egos are much more fragile.
Right, and we're all so busy. Time is a huge factor. We have jobs, families, responsibilities. Finding time to build a new friendship from scratch can feel like another item on a very long to do list. It's not just about finding a 2 hour slot for coffee, it's about finding the mental and emotional energy to invest in a new person.
That's true. It's not just about meeting someone. It's about nurturing that connection, which takes consistent effort. You have to text, make plans, follow up. It's like tending a garden. You can't just plant a seed and expect it to grow. It requires watering, sunlight, and attention, which are all forms of energy and time.
And sometimes everyone's calendars are full for weeks. It's easy for that initial spark to just fizzle out. You might have a great first meeting, but by the time you're both free again, the momentum is lost. Life just gets in the way. It's the logistical nightmare of adult scheduling.
Fizzle out. I like that phrase. It means to slowly die away or lose energy. That happens a lot. You meet someone cool at a party, you have a great conversation, but then nothing. No one follows up. It's a classic case of good intentions not translating into action because the activation energy required is just too high.
So we have a lack of shared environments, fear of vulnerability, and no time. That's a powerful combination that keeps us from making new friends. It's like a perfect storm of social obstacles. Each factor feeds into the others, creating a cycle that can be really hard to break out of. It can lead to a real sense of loneliness, even when you're surrounded by people.
It really is. Another thing is that as we get older, we know ourselves better. We have established interests and values. We're not as flexible as we were when we were kids. We have a clear idea of who we are and what we're looking for in a friend, which can make us more selective. We're not just looking for a playmate anymore.
Oh, that's interesting. You mean we're pickier. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can see arguments for both. On one hand, it's good to know what you want. On the other, maybe we're closing ourselves off to people who are different from us but could still be great friends.
Yeah, in a way, we're looking for a deeper connection, not just someone to play with. We want people who get us, who share our sense of humor or our view on the world. The bar is higher. We're curating our social circles more carefully because our time and energy are limited. We can't afford to invest in friendships that don't feel truly reciprocal.
The bar is higher. That's a great idiom. It means the standard or expectation is more difficult to meet. And it's true. A childhood friendship can be built on liking the same cartoon. An adult friendship needs a bit more substance. It needs to withstand the pressures of careers, families, and personal growth. It requires a solid foundation.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty bleak picture here, Leona. It's hard, it's awkward, we're all busy and scared. Is it hopeless? Are we all destined to just stick with the friends we made in college? I think we need to offer some hope to our listeners before we all just give up and decide to become hermits.
No, of course not. It's not hopeless. It just requires a different strategy. We have to be more intentional. That's the key word intentional. We can't rely on chance and proximity anymore. We have to actively create the opportunities for connection ourselves. It's a shift from being a passive participant to an active architect of our social lives.
Intentional, meaning we have to do it on purpose with a plan. Okay, I'm listening. What's the plan? Give us the roadmap, Leona. How do we go from feeling isolated to building a vibrant social circle in our adult lives? I'm ready to take notes, and I bet our listeners are too.
Well, first we have to recreate that shared environment we had as kids. The best way to do that is through a shared interest or hobby. This creates a natural, recurring reason to be around the same people. It's the foundation upon which friendships can be built organically, without the pressure of a formal friend date.
Okay, like joining a club, a sports team, a book club, a hiking group. That makes sense. It provides a common ground, an automatic topic of conversation. You're not just strangers, you're fellow members of the Saturday morning hiking club, and that shared identity makes a big difference.
Exactly. Or taking a pottery class, a language class, a cooking class. Anything that gets you seeing the same group of people regularly. That's the secret sauce. The regular interaction builds familiarity and trust over time, which are essential ingredients for any real friendship. It's the consistency that matters.
The secret sauce, the special ingredient for success. I like that. So the activity itself gives you something to talk about. It removes the pressure of having to think of a brilliant conversation starter. You can just talk about the book, the hike, or how badly you're failing at making a pot on the pottery wheel.
Precisely. You're not just two strangers talking, you're two people learning to make pasta. The focus is on the activity, not on the social performance. This allows you to relax and be yourself, which is when genuine connections are most likely to form. It's about sharing an experience, and that's a powerful bonding agent.
That makes sense. It lowers the stakes. Another phrase English learners might hear. Lower the stakes means to make the situation less risky or high pressure. So instead of a high stakes interview for the position of best friend, it's a low stakes collaboration on a shared task. That feels much more manageable.
Yes, and once you've established a bit of a rapport, a friendly relationship with someone in that group, you have to be the one to take the next step. This is where the intentionality comes in again. You can't just wait for it to happen. You have to gently push the connection forward outside of the context of the initial activity.
Ah, the scary part, the invitation. This is the moment of truth, right? The point where you have to be a little bit vulnerable and risk rejection. Even with the rapport you've built, it can still feel like a big leap of faith to suggest meeting up separately.
It is, but you can keep the stakes low. You could say something like, "Hey, a few of us are grabbing a coffee after class. Want to join?" It's casual and it's a group setting, which is less intense than a one on one hangout. This bridge event is a great way to transition the friendship to a new context without it feeling like a huge deal.
That's a great tip. The group invitation is key, it diffuses the pressure. What if you're not in a class or group? What if you just meet someone you click with at a one time event, like a party or a conference? The opportunity for repetition isn't there, so you have to act differently.
When you click with someone, it means you instantly get along well. In that case, you have to be a little braver. A good line is to reference something you talked about. This shows you were genuinely listening and provides a concrete reason for wanting to connect again. It makes the follow up feel natural rather than forced.
Can you give an example? Let's role play it. I'm someone you just met at a friend's barbecue and we had a good chat. What would you say to me as we're both about to leave? I think a concrete example would be super helpful for our listeners.
Sure, let's say we were talking about a new science fiction movie. You could say, "Well, hey, it was really great chatting with you. I'd love to continue this conversation about aliens sometime. Are you on social media?" It's specific and gives a reason for connecting. Or, "You mentioned you love that author. I'm going to a reading of their new book next week if you'd be interested in joining."
That's smooth. It's not just, can I have your number, which can feel a bit like you're asking them on a date. It's purpose driven. It creates a clear why for the next interaction, which makes it easier for the other person to say yes. It's an invitation to share an experience, not just an obligation to talk.
Exactly. And I think we also need to reframe our expectations. You're not going to become best friends with someone overnight. It's about planting seeds. Some will grow, many won't, and that's okay. The goal isn't to make every person you meet your new best friend, it's about staying open to connection and seeing what happens.
Mm-hmm. It's about being open and friendly, but not attached to the outcome. If they say no or they seem uninterested, it's not a reflection on you. They might just be busy or have enough friends already. Or maybe they're just not in a place to take on new relationships. It's crucial to separate the outcome from your own self worth.
That's a huge mindset shift. Don't take it personally. It's almost never personal. And you have to be willing to be the initiator. Everyone is waiting for someone else to make the first move. If you can be that person, you'll have a much better chance. You're taking control of your own social destiny instead of just waiting for it to happen to you.
Be the initiator. That's solid advice. So let's recap for our listeners. The strategy for making friends as an adult is 1. Be intentional. You have to actively decide to make this a priority in your life. It won't happen by accident, so you have to carve out time and energy for it.
2, find a shared interest or activity to create a recurring, low stakes environment. See the same people over and over again. This builds the familiarity that is the bedrock of friendship. Think consistency over intensity. It's the slow, steady buildup that creates a lasting bond.
3. Be the one to make the first move for a hangout, preferably a casual group one to start. Take that small, brave step to extend an invitation. Even if it feels a little scary, it's the only way to move the relationship from acquaintance to potential friend.
4, when you do invite someone, make it specific and purpose driven. Reference a conversation you had. This shows you're paying attention and makes the invitation feel more personal and less random. It provides a natural bridge from your last interaction to your next one.
And 5, the big one, manage your expectations and don't take rejection personally. It's a numbers game. Not every connection will blossom into a deep friendship, and that is perfectly fine. The goal is to remain open and resilient, celebrating the connections that do work out without getting discouraged by the ones that don't.
I think that's a fantastic summary. It's still awkward and it still takes courage, but it's not impossible. And having good friends in your life as an adult is so incredibly important for happiness and well being. It's worth the effort. It's a fundamental human need, and investing in it is investing in your own health.
Totally agree. It's a skill, and like any skill, you can get better at it with practice. Even the little things like giving a genuine compliment to a stranger or making small talk with the barista at your coffee shop can help build that social muscle. Each small interaction is a rep that strengthens your ability to connect with others.
That's a great final thought. It all starts small. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope this conversation was helpful, whether you're learning English or just learning how to make friends. We've covered a lot of ground, from the psychology of adult friendships to practical, actionable tips.
Thanks for tuning in to English Off the Page. We'll be back next week with a new topic to explore. Until then, take care. We encourage you to try one of these strategies this week. Be brave, be intentional, and see what happens. You might be surprised.
Bye, everyone. Keep practicing your English, and maybe, just maybe, practice making a new friend too. It's one of the most rewarding things you can do. We'll see you next time.